is a great source for me to be able to make this video presentation to all of you in honor of my dear Mechotonim, Reb Chaim Gibber Shlita and his Rebbetzin Suri Gibber. If you would ask anyone about Reb Chaim, the first thing that people will say about him is his tremendous hasmada and his tremendous yediyas haTorah, the vast volume of Torah that he knows and understands. However, to me, there's another additional aspect of his personality that is so meaningful to me, and that is that he's a warm, very caring individual. I can only tell you about 10 years ago, when I had quadriceps surgery, and I couldn't walk, and my feet were in braces, and now with the present illness that I'm going through, no one has called me more often than my dear Mechut Reb Chaim. Every single day, without exaggeration, he called, and he calls to find out with genuine concern how I'm doing. And it's so reassuring to know that I'm going to get a call from this great Talmid Chacham every single day. Rebbe Suri also has a marvelous reputation of raising the level of chinuch for chinuch habonos wherever she was, whether it was in Baltimore, whether it was in Miami, and of course by all of you in Minneapolis. The Gibbers have always had an open heart for those Jews that are affiliated and those that were not affiliated. And in Baltimore, they started with the Drucker family, a wonderful organization that I believe is still going on today. That's an Eitz Chaim organization. It's basically a Kiruv organization. They started classes for those that were unaffiliated. They invited people to their homes, and they had tremendous achnos zorchim. The Gibber home was always open to those that were affiliated and those that were not affiliated. And this organization, Eitz Chaim, still goes on until today. How did this all happen with Reb Chaim and his twin brother, Rabbi Eliezer? The Mesiras Nefesh that the parents of the Gibbers had. Rose Gibber, I knew her. She was such a wonderful, intelligent person, such a loving, inspirational, and person that always encouraged others. Rose and Sam Gibber and Monticello. This is hard to believe. They knew that Monticello was not a place to raise little children if they wanted to be Erlich Yidden. And so they sent Reb Chaim, if you could imagine, he was in the first grade, and they sent him to his grandparents in Hartford, Connecticut. And that was Reb Chaim. But by the time that Reb Chaim and Reb Eliezer were in sixth grade, both of them were sent to the Mufshewitz, to their grandparents in Hartford, Connecticut, because they felt over there was a day school and they could grow. And with that Mesiras Nefesh, eventually Reb Chaim and Reb Eliezer became as great as they did. Eventually Reb Chaim and his brother Reb Eliezer learned in Philadelphia, where they became close to Rabbi Yisvei and Reb Shmuel Kamenetsky. And also then eventually they came to Baltimore, where they were very close to Rav Kulevsky and also to the Rosh Yeshiva, Rav Ruderman. Now I want to tell you something which to me is so fascinating. Rabbi Pini Yitzstein from Minneapolis told me this, that Reb Chaim would often say that the shmuz, the lecture that Rav Yisvei gave every year in Ne'ilah, you can imagine, it's such an intense moment. The final moments of Yom Kippur, everybody is so serious, and Rav Yisvei would tell everyone, you have to daven, that you should be zeicha to be marba kvoit shamayim. That's what you have to do, to glorify the honor and the prestige of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And this is something that Reb Chaim and Rebbe Suri have taken with them all their lives. Wherever they've been, they've been marba kvoit shamayim. And I can tell you from their children as well, their children, whatever city they live in, they are always marba kvoit shamayim. Not only with their learning and their davening, but the diktuk ha-mitzvahs, the achnos zorchim, and their caring for everybody else. I just want to end just with this thought, which is a brilliant thought that I once heard from a great Talmid Chacham. We know the Gemara in Sukkah Nun Gimel Lamed Aleph talks about a statement that Hillel made at the Simchas Beis HaShe'eva. Now, at first, when you hear the statement, you just can't believe that a person like Hillel said it. And what Hillel said, the Gemara tells us, Im ani kan hakol kan. If I'm here, everybody's here. That sounds like such a haughty statement. However, we know Hillel was so humble. How could he have made a statement, Im ani kan hakol kan? So I once heard the pshat so beautiful. What it meant is, Im ani kan, if I am here with you, hakol kan, my whole essence is with you. I'm paying total attention to you. I'm not texting. I'm not looking to see if anybody else wants to speak to me, or if I see somebody else that I want to speak to you. If I am here, Im ani kan hakol kan, my whole essence is devoted to you. And so many people have told me about Reb Chaim and Rebbe Suri. When you talk to them, they give you the fullest attention. They're not interested in anybody else. They're just talking to you, finding out what you need, what your concerns are, and how they can be of assistance to you, b'ruchnius and b'gashmius. That's why I'm so proud that they are my mechotanim. And as I said, of course, their daughter, Genendel, is my daughter-in-law. And as I told you before, the children of Reb Chaim and Rebbe Suri are marbe kvoit shamayim wherever they go. I think that's a great lesson for all of us. Now, the truth is that I do feel so bad for all of you in Minneapolis. Reb Chaim and Rebbe Suri were there for 25 wonderful years, and now the loss is almost irreplaceable. But one thing is for sure, their memories and their role models is something that should stay with all of us forever. Anytime we think about them, we think of what an ideal Yid is all about, what an ideal man and woman should be about, how she was so devoted. I mean, I don't have to tell you how many eyes were raised when Rebbe Suri agreed to go from Miami to Minnesota. I mean, the weather, I don't have to tell you, is so different. But yet she was the most devoted Eshes Chayil to follow her husband, as he was going to be the Rosh HaKollel, and she started the school, and look how beautiful it's grown. Hashem should bench all of you in Minneapolis, that you should remember them well, follow their example, and be marbe kvoit shamayim. I would like to thank Rabbi Goldberger, who runs the Kollel, for inviting me to come to speak to all of you. I thank you for listening, and I wish Rebbe Suri great hatzlach at everything they do.